Okay, so why don't we go ahead and get started? So good afternoon, members and guests. It's really great to see you all. I know it's been a while since we all have gotten together. I think it's been since December, since the whole group has gotten together. And we have about 50 people that RSVP'd, so it may be even more than the Christmas party. So my name is Deborah Walmer, and you can call me Deb. I am the vice president and the technology chairperson for WCADC. I have been a member of WCA for about a year now, and I became vice president. I'm not sorry. I started off as just technology chair back in January, and then I stepped into the vice president role about a couple months ago. So I will be your technical host for today, and I will be helping with the muting, unmuting, and all of that stuff. And what I want to do is just kind of go over some housekeeping. So first of all, for those of you who weren't on in the very beginning, in your chat window, or sorry, in your video window where you see me talking, there's a menu that'll pop up, and it looks like this menu here. And you'll see this microphone. If you click on it, that mutes yourself. And we ask that everyone remain muted through the meeting, and then we can use the chat to ask questions. And this button here, this blue chat bubble, if you can all click on that, so your chat window will appear. And at the bottom of that chat window, we will have a poll question that will come up during our presentation. And we want feedback from all of you because we think it's really important that we support our members and making sure that we are doing the best we can for you and providing the best organization for you. So I think that's about it. Oh, and by the way, if you do, when the poll opens, some of you may get a pop-up window that's separate from the chat, and that's fine, but just don't close it. Make sure you just move it off to the side so that when the questions do come up, you can answer them. If you close the window, you may not be able to reopen it, so it's important to keep that open. We are recording today's meeting, so just wanted to take note of that. If you do not want to be recorded, then you may either turn your camera off or you may leave the meeting. It's up to you. We don't want you to leave, though. So with that said, I want to introduce our host for today, Sandra Davis. She is the membership chair for our chapter and as well as the membership chair for national. Sandra?
All right. Well, welcome everybody. I'm so excited that we were able to gather even in this virtual reality that we're in right now. And I really thought it was extremely important that as a chapter that we figure out a way to be connected. Part of being a member in an organization like this is the networking opportunities. And of course, it's really difficult to network when you can't even be face to face. So in this era of COVID-19, we have a lot of racial injustice happening. It's an election year. There's so much going on that as artists, we want to make sure that our voice is heard and shared. And it was just really particularly important that we connect as a group. Again, my name is Sandra Davis. I've been a member since 2013 and was invited in a couple years before that, and really wanted to have an opportunity to grow and to become more cognizant about how to network in a group like this. And, you know, a lot of you who have recently signed on may have even recently gotten an email from me saying, welcome to the chapter. So when you figure out different ways to connect, we've pivoted, we've grown, we've become more technology savvy, some better than others. Thank you very much, Deb, for assisting in that arena. It's really been important in connecting. And so we really want to make sure that as we are continually to grow, that if you all as members need assistance with the technology piece, we have people here within the chapter that it can assist with that. If you are just looking for ways to connect with folks, we are all doing Zoom, we're doing Facebook Lives, we're doing Facebook chats and different rooms, and there's all sorts of ways for us to connect. And we really wanted to ensure that we stayed connected as a group. And as we are growing, it's becoming even more important that we learn the virtual way of talking to one another and staying connected with one another. We may not be able to do this every month, but we're certainly going to ensure that we reach out to one another in some sort of, some sort of fashion to ensure that. Now we're waiting for Holly, our president, to come on board and give some welcome comments, but she hasn't quite got here yet. And our national president, Laura Morrison, was going to join us and had actually sent us a video, but we wanted to make sure that we had enough of bandwidth, that nobody was going to drop off, that we didn't have any slowing in as folks were coming on. So we're going to have to share that video either on our website or in another way. It was too much of a disconnect by trying to include that. But she really is sending her greetings and her warm thoughts. But she's taking advantage of spending some time with her family in Chicago before the weather changes and it gets cold and you're not able to do so. So, Deb, is there anything else you want to add before maybe we move over to Rosemary, who's our treasurer?
Actually, Holly just joined. I see her.
Oh,
but
great.
I wanted to mention, I have you guys muted right now, Holly and Kim. The videos will be on YouTube, and I will send the links out after the meeting, as well as the recording of the meeting will be on our website and maybe on YouTube as well. So if you have to jump out for some reason, we'll make sure we get that access. There's a lot of information we're going to cover today. We want to make sure that you get everything. So I'm going to unmute Kim and Holly. So Holly, if you're ready, you can go ahead and do your remarks.
Okay, are these my regular remarks or my welcome remarks?
Your welcome remarks.
Welcome remarks. Okay, I'm just really happy to see a lot of new faces and a lot of familiar faces. I've been a member of WCA DC for a couple years now, and so excited to be doing this. And I'm so glad that you're here. And we have an amazing board. And the next person I'm supposed to introduce is Rosemary Fallon, who is our very excellent treasurer.
Hello, everyone. I am the very excellent treasurer, Rosemary Fallon.
That's your new title. I'm going to put that on the website.
I've been a member since February 2019 and treasurer since about March 2019. So just about a year and a half. I've been really impressed with the organization. It's a great organization. So as treasurer, I guess you probably figured, I take care of all the money coming in and going out. And I will probably give you more detail later in the presentation about what that actually means. And right now I'll hand it off to Madison Bowles, our excellent exhibitions chair.
Thank you, Holly. Hello, everybody. My name is Madison Bowles. I am the exhibition chair with the DC chapter of Women's Caucus. I've been a member for about 5 years and have been unofficially involved in exhibitions for about that long, but I've been chair for about 2 years now. We have some exciting stuff coming up in the exhibitions realm, and just like Sandra said, we want to make our voice heard and shared, and one way we do that is through our exhibition. So I'll be talking a little bit more about that later. And I'm introducing Barbara, our programs chair.
Hello, everybody. I'm very happy to be here. I think I get the credit for being the longest member. I joined in 1978 when there was the first chapter in DC. Then it kind of went went away and revived in 1990, and I've been a member since then. So I am so excited. This chapter is the biggest and the most enthusiastic, has the most savvy people that it's ever had, and it's just wonderful. I'm so glad that you're all here. So I'm chair of programs. I'll talk about that later. But the idea of the programs is to do things that people get together, have fun together, network, and learn new things. And I'm going to need your ideas. Okay. All right. So next is Kim Foley, who's doing education for us.
Hey, hey everyone, how are you? Again, I've been a member for about, I guess, 4 years. A year after I joined, I ended up being president, and I was president for 3 years. Took the chapter from 35 members up to about 100, and it's been a really wonderful thing for my art career to be part of WCA. It just took off after that. To have all these women as wonderful resources has been such a blessing. So I am so excited to be the program chair now that I'm past president. And I'm open to any ideas on programming that you would like to have to help enhance your art business. And we have something coming up. So we'll talk about that later. And I'm going to introduce Tranya. Hello, Tranya. Can we hear Tranya?
Tranya, are you muted?
I was muted. I'm on now. Can you hear me?
Okay, great.
Okay. I'm Tranya. My name is Tranya Anglero. I've been a member now for 2 years. Just recently became the community outreach chair, and basically we aim, or I'm aiming to help people pursue their passion, their activities, mentorship, scholarships, and community involvement. That's really. We'll talk a little bit more about that.
All right. So with that, we've got our introductions out of the way. And before each chairperson comes on to talk about their specific committee, we're going to have some brief surveys that will populate. And this way, we're able to get feedback, since we're unfortunately not able to hear one another talk so much with this large gathering that we have, but to garner information and some feedback from our members. The polling is going to open up with some surveys. So our first survey is going to be around what type of exhibits do you prefer? You will see the multiple choice questions and answers there for you. So if you're interested in just gallery exhibitions, you want to check off A. How about restaurants? Maybe you want to see work in an office space. Maybe you want to reach out to real estate agents and have your work in residential spaces. How about community centers? We're certainly getting comfortable with the virtual arena. Or maybe none of these work and you have other ideas and suggestions that we want to hear about. So take a minute and complete our survey.
I just want to make sure everyone is seeing the poll. If you're not seeing the poll, you can send a message in the chat and I can go through that again and where to pull up the poll.
Sandra, can you check more than one?
Yes,
I think
yes, you can.
So.
Yes, you can.
Should be able to, yes.
Yes, it's multiple choice, so you can answer as many as you like. And we will display the answers of the polls at the end.
So I know as a new member back in 2013 and 2014, it was really important to me to get my work out there. And if you are able to submit to exhibitions, you stretch yourself, you stretch your abilities, you stretch your creativity, because now you've got these different resources to be able to show your work.
Sandra, do you want to go to the next slide while people are continuing the poll? Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm going to share again. again.
There we go. Okay, so as we are finishing up the poll, I want to introduce Madison again, and she's going to talk about what's happening with exhibits. Okay, Madison.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody. Again, we're really happy that you're here. Just a few updates about exhibitions that are happening with the chapter. We just finished our first virtual exhibition. It was called Alone Together, which was inspired by the pandemic and our social distancing that we're still doing. And we thought it was very successful on multiple levels, and we really enjoyed hosting an exhibit on our website, and it brought the traffic to our website up really high, and we even had a few sales. And so we're going to continue to have more. So we do have one upcoming exhibition that you can apply for now through August 30th. This is actually not just for the DC chapter of WCA, this is for nationwide. So if you know a member in another city, you can encourage them to apply. This art call is called See My Color, and it has come about in light of the murder of George Floyd and the recent social injustices that we've been campaigning against, and the most recent activism. And we want artists to explore the relationships with racial injustice, police brutality, and criminal justice reform in their work that they submit. We have a really fantastic juror for this call. Her name is Zudeka Nzinga Terrell, and she actually did make a video for us for this meeting, and you will get a link to the YouTube of that video after we meet here today. But yes, that call is open now. You can apply through Entry Thingy via our website, and there's a $20 entry fee. And that entry fee is actually going to be going to a scholarship fund to help a person of color, a woman person of color, study art in some form of higher education. But again, the deadline for that is August 30th. And because we're having more and more virtual exhibitions in these times that we're living in, you're probably going to see a lot of those popping up in other areas too. And because they've been so successful and just a lot easier to set up and coordinate, even when we do get back to doing in-person shows, we're going to continue to do them. And I think other organizations are going to continue to do them as well. And so there is going to be sort of new rules that we'll need to learn and abide by when it comes to online shows. And so what I'm going to be doing is an upcoming workshop this Saturday, August 15th at 1 o'clock. It's a free workshop. You just need to RSVP. And the workshop is going to be about submitting work specifically through Entry Thingy, but also just general tips, best practices, and how-tos about submitting your work to calls, because you always want to put your best foot forward and make sure you're dotting your I's and crossing your T's when you're submitting your work to shows. And this is going to include those online shows. So again, that's this Saturday, August 15th at 1 p.m. Totally free. You'll just need to send us an email to RSVP for that. And so I hope to see you there. All right. And I'm going to pass it on to Sandra, who's going to talk about our show that's coming up, about to open, called Why I Vote. So take it away, Sandra.
Thanks, Madison. So the Why I Vote exhibit was a passion project for me that's finally coming to fruition, and I'm ecstatic that we're finally at this point. We have 15 invited artists, as well as 26 members and non-members who have submitted work to be part of this exhibition. For those who do not know about the exhibit, it will be taking place in Gaithersburg, Maryland, which is where I currently live. at the Borough Park Activity Center. Artwork is to be dropped off on September 8th, and you should have received some sort of correspondence from Jeree Donnelly, who is the curator and director for City of Gaithersburg's galleries. If you have not, please feel free to reach out to me, send me a separate chat message if you need to, or you can find my contact information on our website. But one of the things that I wanted to highlight was we will be having a virtual panel discussion that will be sponsored through the City of Gaithersburg. But I'm really excited about the guests that will be included. So Ann Burton, who was the juror for this particular exhibit, she will be one of the panelists. We have 5 invited artists that have work selected that will talk about their individual pieces. And then we have super exciting guests, a young lady from the Montgomery County chapter of the Women's League of Voters to really discuss the 19th Amendment, what that meant and felt like from a historical standpoint. And then on the other side of the coin, we will have Janine De Silva, who is the Massachusetts president for, I'm going to get this right, hold on a second, the National Association of Colored Women's Clubs. And we wanted to make sure we had that dichotomy, that rich, deep conversation about not only from the Women League of Voters, but how African American women were also affected during that time. And then fast forward to 2020, what does that look, feel, and sound like from our perspective, and why it's important to vote? So more to come on that. More information will be on the website. And I thank you for your time to talk about exhibits. And I think we're ready for our next survey.
No, we're going to go to the Treasury.
Oh, I'm sorry. So
that's okay. Survey after that.
Okay. So Rosemary, if you can give us some more detail about what's happening in the Treasury Department.
Sure. The exciting world of money. So of your $70 membership fee, $20 goes to our chapter and $50 goes to national, just to make sure everybody knows that. And you're a member of our local chapter as well as the national organization. And when you join or renew, you can do that through our WCADC website, or you can do it through national website. And I'll just talk about sort of the differences between the two. If you go through our website, if you're a new member, if we have guests that are thinking about joining, and you fill out your contact sheet and you do PayPal or even mail a check, at least we get that information right away, and we can get you on our email list, and you can get, all the information right away that's coming out of our chapter. If you go through national, there's a little bit of a lag time by the time I know that you've become a member and paid your membership fee. So it might even be a few weeks before I know that you're an actual member. So there is an advantage to go through our website, but then, if you go through national, you get put on the national database sooner. If you go through us, it takes a little while to get on the national database. So it's sort of a trade-off. However, if you want to, know what's happening right away in our chapter, just join and renew through our website. I hope that's clear to everyone. It's just because what happens is we use the actual postal service to transfer the information and the money to each other from our chapter to national. So that's why it's a little bit of a lag, as nothing is done immediately online between the chapters. So that's part of the issue. And also the wonderful individual at National, Karen Lunar, who does all of this, adds your name to the website, only works a few days a week. She's part-time, so she's not doing this all week long. So that's, just the logistics. It's not instantaneous. And just so you know, we'll be transitioning to a new PayPal account in September. And I'm sure that will go just fine. If you join between now and October 1st, you're good to the end of this calendar year. But for January 2021, you'll need to rejoin for the next calendar year. If you join or renew after October 1st, you're good the calendar year of 2021 as well. So if that's an advantage if you join after October 1st, but if you want to take advantage of, the call for the show coming up, you can join now, and then you have, several months of being a member before you have. That's about all I have to say. Thank you.
Thanks, Rosemary. And again, if anybody has any specific questions, if you want to put them in the chat, or you can reach out to us via our website, and we will be happy to respond directly to those questions. So we're now going to talk about our survey for what types of programs do you prefer. We love having art chairs. How about museum visits? Would you all be interested in perhaps a book club? Some different organizations are doing what they call virtual sketch together. And, once things open up, maybe we can do the sketch together actually in person. How about panel discussions? And those discussions could be history, it could be about a particular artist, or none of the above. Give us some ideas, give us some suggestions, but we really, really want to find out what types of programs you would actually be interested in. So take a few minutes for that. I know in the past, it was always exciting to get together for a particular opening at the National Women's Museum, or if there was something that was happening at the National Portrait Gallery or the National Gallery. It was a great opportunity to meet each other, talk about things personally that we were excited about. And again, as we are learning and new ways to navigate how to network, programming is going to be really essential to make sure that we stay on top of what's happening. So this was an important topic for me. And again, we're open to suggestions. We're open to any topics that you want to share. Rosa wanted to know, was there any other polls coming up? Yes, we've got a couple more coming up as well. All right, so Deb, you want to move to the next slide?
Sure.
So as we are finishing up the polling, I'm going to have Barbara come on and talk about programs.
Oops.
Barbara.
Sorry
Okay.
about that. You're unmuted now.
Okay, good. All right. So programs can be anything we want them to be. We just saw some things in the poll. I'm thinking we might even have a socially distanced sketch trip outside, or a socially distanced outdoor sculpture visit. There's all kinds of possibilities. I need some help. I need a co-chair, and I need some people on the committee. And if you come, have a good idea, just think you could host something one time a year. That wouldn't be so hard if we get a bunch of people with good ideas. And the wonderful thing about the programs are the heart of this, in addition to the exhibit. So I need your ideas. I need help. The next one coming up is August 22nd. Sheree Redinger, who's here, is managing that one. There's still plenty of room in it. And the art chairs are fun because Deb helps us with this, and we get to see an image of each person's work, and she can talk a little bit about it, get some feedback. And the ones we've had, people have really met each other that way, and I think felt really good about their work too. So try the one coming up this month, and give us ideas for what we should do for September. Okay, thank you, everyone.
All right, thank you, Barbara. And again, like Barbara said, programs could be anything. So the more creative, the more outside of the box, we're open to it. And we want it to be fun, and we want something that the members are going to enjoy. We go as far as Fredericksburg, Virginia. We're in Frederick, Maryland. We're in Baltimore. We're in all parts of Maryland. So we're really, really spread out. So it could even be little sub things that are happening with a particular community where folks are close together. So just kind of keep those things in mind. So for our next survey, we want to talk a little bit about professional development. Part of, again, being a member is, how can I become better as an artist? How do I be a better presenter? And so, let's talk about what kind of development programs or workshops that you might like. Art skills or drawing sculpture classes. What about business development? Are you archiving your work? Portfolio reviews? How do I show up when I am advertising my event? Am I using social media? Am I good at social media? Can I post well? Again, none of the above. Give us some suggestions. Okay, so
Hello.
Hey, Kim, you ready?
I am ready.
All right, Kim Foley, everybody.
Oh, Kim, you've muted yourself. Now you're unmuted. Go ahead.
Hi, everyone. How are you? So good to see you. So I'm really excited to have a workshop coming up because we all need professional development. And for years, I've been giving marketing classes here at my home for just WCA members, teaching them about social media, teaching them about um, everything from writing your artist statement to developing a better website for yourself and ways that you can grow yourself. Now, our job as an organization isn't to advertise your work. However, as a member, we do that. So if you have a um, a class coming up, a virtual class for people, or you have something you'd like to teach virtually, we're going to talk about you on our social media pages and help you get people to attend because we're here to support you. That's the point. For instance, Renee Sandel, who's here with us today, we love her programs. She's got programs coming up all the time, and we have sponsored her programs in the past, and she's got ongoing programs, and we love to talk about them and have people grow their skill sets by attending our members' programs. So if you have new ideas on how we can help develop your professional art career, we want to know about it because we want to help all the members attain what they want to attain, whether it's better social media, whether it's marketing, whether it's learning how to use video to market your work better. Because as you know, learning video, which is my specialty, showing your work online, it can be daunting and challenging if you don't know the right lighting and the things you need to do it. So with that in mind, we've got a program coming up next Wednesday, the 12th at 7 o'clock, and it's helping you create better Zoom meetings or Skype meetings or WebEx meetings, whatever platform you use, it doesn't matter. but this little visual camera that you see is not your friend. It's very hard to look great. And so as a video producer, and you know, I'm going to help you with that. I'm going to help you get the right lighting and to frame it properly and to really kind of up your look on this platform so that you can really have credibility and show your work well. And I have worked with a few people, few members, helping them out, and I'd love to continue helping everybody. So it's a free workshop just for our members because this is something that I charge to do for corporations. And this is a skill set that I'm very happy to share with members to help them get this right, to promote their work and themselves better. So if anybody would like to come be part of my team and volunteer to help with programming, what it's really involving is just finding people who have programs to offer the chapter. So we have a lot of resources for our members because we all want to grow our skill set in every way, artistically as well as online. So we are going to be working on a new video for the chapter. And so send me ideas, kimfoley@kimfoley.com. We're going to
Thank
take a
you.
10-minute break, I guess, here.
Yep. So we're going to take a 10-minute break. And for some of you all who may have been typing in some questions in the chat, we want to make sure that we can take a second to acknowledge and answer some of those. So Deb, do you have any questions that you want to share with us?
Sure. So Bonnie has stated that she didn't see a place in the shows about activism and community outreach for shows specifically. So that's noted. Like we're doing the See My Color as a social activist show. She mentioned. Sorry, let me scroll. But like the Girls Gotta Run, most recently spotlighted by the Malala Fund, which was amazing. So yeah, I think we're going to be doing more of those. And I could let Madison perhaps speak to exhibits specifically about ideas and no.
Oh, you want me to speak now?
Yeah, sorry. No, just to talk about and what if people have ideas for shows, like what
Oh,
stuff
definitely,
like that.
definitely. We're always looking for new ideas for shows. And to be totally clear, social activism is in the mission of the Women's Caucus for Art. And so anything to do with social activism and really getting our voice out there and what we believe in is fantastic. As you can see, like with the online shows, those are really easy for us to set up and stand up with and put out calls. If you have ideas about specific locations on where we could do shows, that's also something we want to hear about. Obviously, not a lot of people are doing in-person shows right now, so that may be a little more difficult. But we're always here to make those connections, and we've already made a few connections around town with galleries that are happy to have shows from us. And another thing that we always love to hear about are jurors, people in the area. I guess they don't even necessarily have to be in the area who could jury a show for us. We love connecting with other artists out there who could be a part of the group in one way or another. So, and if you have ideas, you can send them to me specifically, or you can send them to the general WCA email, and we will. So Danielle asked, what qualities are we looking for in a juror? Someone who's generally in the art world. We've had artists themselves jury. We've had museum professionals, art gallery professionals. Or if the topic is of a specific ilk and that person has a lot of expertise in that topic, we're welcome to that. in the past, since I've been here, we've had all female jurors. I don't know if we would. I don't see why we wouldn't want to consider a male juror if it was a good fit. But generally, someone who agrees with the mission of the organization and has a desire to work with artists, I suppose. Danielle, that's great. We'll talk. I think that's all I have to say about that. But yeah, feel free to ask me any questions that you have.
What's another question?
I think that's all of our questions right now. So if we could maybe just move on to the slideshow again.
Okay.
Okay.
So this brings us to our next survey, and this is around communications. And how do you want to receive chapter news? Are you happy with receiving the newsletter? Are you following us on social media? So you're finding out all sorts of things that are being posted on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. What works for you? How about how often do you visit our website? So are you only getting our information by visiting the website? Would you prefer direct email? And again, none of the above, because you've got some other fantastic way for us to get that information out to you. So take a couple minutes and answer that survey, because we want to make sure that as shows are coming up, as additional information is coming in from whether it's national or maybe it's just our local chapter, we want to make sure that when Renee is hosting her seminars, that you are able to find out how to sign up for those. When Kim is hosting her workshops, are you getting that information so you can attend? So please let us know how you want to receive chapter news.
There we are.
Okay, sorry about that. I was sharing the Google browser, but I guess it didn't show up. So anyway, I'm sorry. So this is our homepage. Again, like I said, there's events over here that are like hot events that we want you to see. There's a brief calendar here that you can click on and see some more details. This is our Instagram feed. I'll talk about that in a second. Under our members, we have the member directory. If you have not filled out your directory, sorry, it's a little slow. Sometimes Wix is slow, plus with the meeting, it may not switch right away. Okay, we'll pretend that it's gone. You can give us a profile. There's a form. There it is. At the bottom of this page that you can fill out to get listed in the directory. I would recommend going to the website on your own, not when we're sharing with 30 people in a video conference. But as you can see, you pick a photo, you have a brief bio. It's a good way if someone comes to our website, they can look at you, they can look at your stuff. The links are active so that when they click your picture, it goes to your website. I try to list your Instagram here and all of that. This page will change soon, but no worries, it's just a design thing. We also have a member gallery with all the images of you all that submitted. You can list your member shows. So if you have a show coming up, please, please, please go here, member shows, and at the bottom of the screen, you will see a form, a button here. It says add your show. Click on it and add the information to put your show. I will update these once a week or so. We have a new feature called a forum, members forum. We haven't quite used it too much yet. It is a good way if we wanted to split out into groups, like by different locations. We could easily do that in the forum. You could start a little chat. We also have our Facebook group too. So either way, you know, we could, I'm not sure if the forum is going to work out or not. Anyway, give it a try, see what you think. And here's the forum here. It has different discussion topics. Our events, classes, and workshops. These are all the events that you can currently register for. So you have today's meeting is here. There's Kim's meeting, the workshop, Madison's workshop, and the art share. So you can go to the website, click on info and registration, and you can simply register for the event. You'll get a link to the meeting after, so you'll have everything you need. So it's a good resource here. So there's the RSVP, and I won't go through all that. We have our exhibitions listed. You can click on once they're virtual. So like our See My Color show will be listed here, and you can click on it and you'll get into the show, just like we had for our other Alone Together show. Any calls for art we have listed. This is where when you receive the newsletter in an email, this is where the links point to. They point to our website, and there's a post for each of the items. And if you log in to the website, you can actually make comments on the posts. So you would do that up here. You'll see a login button like you saw me do before. You click on login. You can choose your Gmail account, and it'll automatically log you in. If you haven't logged in before, I just need to approve you because we only let members make comments on posts. We have our resources page. This gives you all kinds of resources, links to calls for art, women's organizations, all kinds of stuff. I would recommend definitely, if you're in Maryland, to make sure you register for MSAC. MSAC, you can put a profile up with some images. Actually got invited to a call for art through MSAC. So I would recommend making sure that you, Maryland State Arts Council, make sure you go on there if you haven't before. And if you have a resource that you think is really helpful for us, you can fill out this form at the bottom, hit submit, and we'll add that resource for you and for all of our members. We have our About Us page, and I'm going to skip down to committees. We are looking for several, to fill several committees that we've just opened up. We have our communications committee that's meeting monthly. We still could use a newsletter editor. I've been did this last month, and it's time consuming, but it's not too bad. It's I think it's fulfilling. So if we have a couple people that are writing for the newsletter, but if you're interested in writing or being an editor, let us know. And there are other resources here. Committees. And if you're interested, you can simply click on the link to email us and let us know what committee you're interested in, and that chairperson will get in contact with you. So that's it for our website. Let's go to the Instagram account. This is our Instagram. If you tag us, so if you have Instagram and in your own post, you put at WCA DC org, that's our handle, I will repost your post in our story. Free advertising. So who wouldn't want free advertising? Also, if you have a show coming up, I will not only put it in our story, but I'll post it in our feed as well. So that's good to know. The other thing about Instagram is the national website. If you tag at Women's Caucus for Art, they will post you in their story. And if you use hashtag Women's Caucus for Art, you will get onto the national website feed, which is really cool. So anybody visiting that and they go down, they can see, you'll see your images. So I want to also point out, when I started in February, the the Instagram had, there wasn't someone that was dedicated to doing it. We had about 200 followers. We now have 973 followers. That's free advertising. Your stuff goes to 973 people. For $70 a year, you get free advertising. Who wouldn't want that? Okay, so that's enough about that. We also have some other social media accounts. We have our Facebook page and group. This is our page. When I go back to the screen share, I will show you the URL for that. Please like us and we'll like you back. We share stuff on this page. You can share stuff of what you're doing if you have a Facebook page. You can share stuff as well. Then we have a Facebook group. And in the Facebook group, this is where you can share all kinds of stuff. This is open to not just members, but outside as well, outside people. So if you wanted to share anything that you think is relevant to our organization, art stuff, whatever, social activism, feel free to share it on here. And so it's facebook.com groups WCADC. We also have a LinkedIn page. Again, I'll post the URL. It's in the slideshow. Please follow us. We have a Twitter account, and Bonnie is on. Bonnie does our Twitter. And you can also follow. We'll follow you back. We'll repost stuff on Twitter as well for you. And we have a YouTube channel. So this is where we will post the 2 videos that I explained earlier. That I think Sandra mentioned one of them, and Madison mentioned the other. So Zaduke, our juror, recorded a video, and we have a video from Laura Morrison, the president of National. So I believe that it covers my spiel. And here, I'll just give you a second to look at this, I'll try to make this available as well on the website, the slide share. But here are the different URLs to all of our social media. Again, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, all of that will follow you back. Oh, one more thing. Newsletter. If you have some stuff you want to share, if you're having a solo show, for example, you've got an award, you got some kind of recognition, you're in a magazine, whatever, send us an email and we'll get if you do it by the 20th of each month, we'll get you in the newsletter for the following month. Okay. So now we go back to survey.
All right. So Deb, thank you for that. Again, when we look at not being able to connect with each other in person, and we're all relying on all those social media platforms, it is imperative that we stay excited, that we stay involved. We want our voice heard. And we're yelling and screaming on all of these platforms, and we want to make sure that you're included. So by all means, if you need assistance trying to figure out how to navigate all of those different platforms, we're here to help. So do not hesitate to reach out to us. And our next survey is around community outreach. And I know there's a ton of us within the organization who wanted to do community outreach. We really weren't sure how to do community outreach. So we decided this year we were going to commit to figuring this out. And so if you'll take a minute to look at the survey, and we want to know what community outreach means to you as a member. So is that helping to fund scholarships? Is that fundraising for a particular organization, whether it's art or not art related? Is it non-art related community activities? maybe volunteering at a senior center or a shelter or food pantry, maybe at a school where maybe they're looking for volunteers. Maybe it is an art related activity with seniors or children or community center. Maybe we want to do a mural at a particular community. Or again, none of those. I have my own ideas and they're fantastic and I can't wait to share it with WCA. So if you take a minute and let's see what type of community outreach you'd like to be involved in. All right, so while we are finishing up the poll, I want to introduce again Tanya, who is our community outreach chair.
Hi again. Just talk a little bit about the community outreach. What we do, this is new to me. Just recently became a chairperson for this. So one of the things is that we understand that there's many people that have different roadblocks in trying to pursue their passion, and we're here to.
Other side.
Can you hear me? Okay. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're trying to help them pursue some of those passions. Our aim is to help through support them through different activism, like the Black Lives Matter. We believe that all humans are connected, and we create these calls that kind of inspire and bring people together, and to also help showcase them and help them promote them with their art, or it could be anything else. But I have a strong art background. I kind of sway more to the art activities, but I'm very open to any other suggestions or ideas. Right now, we're currently working on a scholarship for graduating female girls in high school that are in art. It'll go towards their college, first year of college. And this is news for anyone in the DMV area. And these are some of the activities that we're doing to try to kind of promote what we're about, our mission.
Thank you.
Can
Thank you,
you
Tanya.
can you just comment just a couple more sentences about why we wanted to do the scholarship and how that sort of evolved with the Black Lives Matter movement?
Well, it was to encourage people that are probably disadvantaged, or not necessarily disadvantaged, but are to help them in a financial way to pursue their career, to their art interest. Yeah.
Excellent. And I know as an organization, we struggled with what we wanted our statement to say as we were working out how do we as WCA DC chapter, how do we want to show up in terms of what was happening in this political, racial kind of upheaval environment. And we wanted to make sure that as an organization here in the DC market, we needed to make sure that we showed up, and we wanted to show up in a way that made a difference. And so after lots of discussion with the board and getting suggestion and ideas from one another, we thought having this show, See My Color, and being able to use some of the entry fees to help fund that scholarship was a great way for us to show up. And we just wanted to make sure that the entire membership knew and understood that. And again, if you have any additional ideas and suggestions moving forward, so we can continue doing more things as a group, please, 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 one, join the committee. That way you can be hands-on. And then number two, we want everybody to feel valued as a member and that your ideas are important. So I just wanted to share that. It's really, really important. All right, Deb, what's next?
Here we go.
All right, so this is my little area. And so we're going to take a brief survey about membership and what member benefits are important to you. Do you like the idea of having free advertising? Are free workshops important to you as a member? Professional development, is that something that's key? Opportunities to exhibit. I know when I first joined, that was one of my main reasons for becoming a member. I wanted other opportunities to exhibit. Or this simply just want to connect with other women artists, not only in DC, Maryland, Virginia, but around the country. Or maybe none of these are the reasons that you want to be a member or a benefit. Maybe you have other ideas and suggestions and reasons why being a member of WCA is important. If you could take a few minutes to respond to that poll. And so while we are finishing up this poll, I just want to give a little bit of update on where we are in terms of membership. And to give you an idea about how we've been showing up on social media, just from the month of April through, I'm going to say August 1st, we have gained 32 new members. If we were to look at overall membership, active and non-active, there's probably close to 260 women who are involved in some form or fashion. And we have 115 active current members. I'm so excited about that number that if we can do this in lockdown, imagine what that membership growth would have looked like had we been out to rub elbows and see each other face to face. It would have been huge. So I want you to understand the power of what the social media platforms can actually do for us. And it's allowing us to be seen in all sorts of places that you may not have thought about. I've been contacted through LinkedIn about membership. People have reached out to me on Facebook about membership. Our juror for See My Color has been sharing information with her connections, and we've gotten new members from those connections. So please, please, please make sure that you show up on those platforms and you stay interactive with that, because that's really helping us grow our membership. Now, Deb took us through our local chapters website, and I want to take us through just briefly to highlight a couple of places on the national website. And if any of you all have attended the new member meeting, we get a little bit more in depth around that. So we're just going to touch briefly on that. So are we ready, Deb, to share screens? Okay.
Yes, you can go ahead and share your screen.
Perfect. Okay. And all right, can everybody see my screen?
No.
No? Okay, hold on. Try this one more time. Oh, Deb, it's asking me to close the poll before it lets me share. All right, let's try it now. So Deb, it's not letting me share with the poll being open. And Rosa is saying a lot of us are not receiving the poll, just FYI.
Yeah, if you've clicked submit before you've answered all the questions, then it closes. So what I can do is I'll close the poll right now, and then I'll reopen it so that you guys that didn't get a chance, you can go through all the questions, okay? So let me go ahead and close it. Let's give it 30 seconds or so for those who have not answered all the questions that still have the poll open. If you go ahead and quickly go ahead and go through those.
Deb,
Hello?
Yes.
yeah, I answered all the questions. I just clicked submit.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I couldn't see it as you guys were going over, but I remember how I responded.
So Danielle, looks like you're still in progress. So if you finished, you can click submit and then yours will close and then I can close the poll. Allow Sandra to share and then we'll reopen it at the end.
Okay. While we're waiting to do that, I just wanted to touch base on National normally hosts a annual conference, and the conference is held normally in February, and every other year it's in New York. We had it here in DC, I believe, 2017.
16.
2016. Okay, thank you, Barbara. Which was my first conference that I had ever attended. It was really cool that I didn't have to travel except for hop on the metro to the different activities. But one of the things about attending the conference that sort of opened your eyes as a member was just the power of what WCA actually can do. Having women from all over the country talk about their different practices. There were workshops, there were gallery visits. You made sure you connected with somebody at dinner that you might not have known before. And some of these relationships become long lasting. People that you may have never had an opportunity to meet. 2021, we're skipping the conference because in 2022 is actually the 50th anniversary of the organization. The plan is to have the conference in Chicago. Yes, it will be cold because it will be in February, but we survived this past February, didn't we, Kim? And Holly, right? It's like if we had a blast. It was an absolute, we had a fantastic time.
Sandra and I enjoyed Chicago in February. It was wonderful to see the scene with snow on it. It was incredible. So
yes. So how we doing with the poll, Deb?
It's closed now, so you can go ahead and share.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. There we go. How's that? Everybody see?
Perfect.
All right. So again, just wanted to highlight a couple of things. The homepage, a little bit about, you can get some history about the organization. And, if you can think of what was happening in 1972, what were you doing as an artist? And, there's still very little representation at galleries and museums. We're still fighting that fight, but we've come a long way. You can see different exhibitions. You can see calls for art that are happening around the country. I'll click on that real quick. So
And Sandra, remind people they can join any other chapters they want.
Awesome.
Get
Thank
in their
you,
exhibitions. Yeah.
Thank you. Let me move this down here. Under opportunities, you can see where there's some physical sponsorship and grants. And like I said, if you have attended the new member meeting, I go into pretty much detail around how to navigate through this process. But I did want to take a minute that if you go to membership, under member login, this is where you find out your information specifically for yourself or other current members. So I'm just going to click on this for a minute. And we're going to, let me go back here again. You can see what some of the other chapters are doing. You can see where the other chapters are listed, how you can connect. here's where you would enter. And we're going to go find Deb. DC chapter. And when we say current members, and we want to find narrow because we want to specifically just look for our chapter. And there's Deb. You can see the professional areas that she's interested in. Her email address is there. Her contact information is there. This is how you can find out how long you've been a member. When does your membership renew? And you can pretty much look for anybody who is a member across the country by having that information. And I wanted to point this out because, as Rosemary had mentioned, even though some of us will renew through our own specific chapter, you can also renew through here. This is how you can find out a little bit about some of the individuals that are in our chapter, as well as outside of our chapter. And I'm gonna sign out of here. You can see here some of our past awardees from the different catalogs and from some of the different conferences. And I'm not going to spend a lot of time here. I just wanted to highlight a couple areas about the national site. It is important to make sure not only going to the local chapter site, but also going to the national site so you can kind of see what everybody's doing across the country within WCA. And you can find out who the board members are and who are the decision makers within our organization. And with that,
Sandra, can you just go back to the home page and scroll to the bottom so they can see the Instagram feed?
yes, thank you.
So this is where I mentioned earlier that if you tag pound or hashtag Women's Caucus for Art, this is where you would show up, and you can see almost every post that I make on Instagram. I use that tag, and all of our posts are there. So that's really cool. It's, again, free advertising. Use it.
All righty. And if you ever need to know what the mission is, here it is right here, loud and clear. Supporting local, national, and global art activism, advocating for equity in the arts for all, providing women with leadership opportunities and professional development. And I want to highlight that sentence right there. I would have never been involved in something like this had WCA not have given me the opportunity. So as a member, if you need to look for assistance in helping you grow as an individual artist, you're looking for ways to take on leadership responsibilities, how about chairing a committee? Take on a project. We will give you as much support as you want and need to help further this mission. So I need some membership committee members. And if you've got a lot on your plate right now and can't do it, and maybe you want to reach out later, if you know somebody else who's looking for additional things to do to enhance their membership value within the organization, we need help with membership. So with that, I'm going to stop sharing. And it's just about a little bit before 4:30. I'm going to give us a chance to answer some more questions if there's some other questions that we want to address. Deb, you have any additional questions that you want to address?
Let's see if what's in the chat, if anything. Looks like no more questions at this time. If anyone wants to just ask a question, they can open their mic and go ahead and do that.
can't believe 30 women. We don't have a question. How about a thought or a statement? I can't get over. I can't believe that.
I have a question for everyone. Let's just ask this: how do you think the meeting went? Is there anything that you expected to be covered that wasn't? If you don't want to answer or ask over the mic, then you can put it in the chat. What do you think? What were your expectations? Did we answer everything and provide, a large amount of information for you to see what the benefits are that you're getting from the chapter?
Ichui, I want to say something. In September, a panel on BLM. So I asked Sandra if she knows anybody that can be on it. We need 3 people. So thank you.
Thanks, Cherie. Is there anyone else that has any questions or feedback about the meeting? We'll most likely send a survey out to you all at the end just to see what you thought. We hope to have these meetings at least quarterly to go over things that we're doing in the chapter and also to get feedback from you. So today's meeting was more of us kind of catching everyone up, what we're doing, what's going on. But in the future, we want to be more collaborative. We want the meeting to be, you give us feedback, do you have ideas? And also, if you want to get involved, join a committee. There's a little or as much time as you would like to dedicate to that. In my communications committee, I have someone writing 1 article a month. It takes however long it takes them to write the article, and that's what they give. And it's great. It's helpful. It provides information to the chapter. And I think for me, and I'm doing this because I'm putting in what I want to get out of the organization. And so I want to be more socially more active in social activism. I wanted a community of women to share my art with and to have camaraderie with. And I think that's really important as a feminist for me. So, it's very fulfilling to be part of a committee. And again, I understand people are busy, but if you do have even a little bit of time and you want to just even join a committee to give feedback, please do so. We would love it. We would love it. Again, this is for you. This organization's for you, and we're here for you as well.
I just wanted to respond to Rosa. So Rosa, you had put in the chat, was this regarding the poll? Once you submitted, you couldn't answer anymore?
I unmuted you, Rosa.
Oh, okay.
So I just wanted to make sure that that's what you were asking about.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
I thought there was a lot of questions. Perhaps I answered the whole poll. I may have, and I completed all the questions and then submitted. So.
Okay.
Oh, that's good. Then you did everything.
All right. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No
worries.
No worries. Deb, how about let's look at some of the polling results?
Sure. I think you need to stop. Are you sharing still? Let me see if I can open it because I had put it up before.
I can see them now.
Oh, you can see the results? Yeah, they should
good.
be there on the screen then because I did share them. Does everyone see the results? I'll also put it, I'll put it on our website maybe so everyone can see. But we did capture the people who responded as well. So if you wanted to provide us more feedback or we wanted to contact you with some ideas that you might have, look for our email from us.
I'm curious to see, we've got quite a few people who like the idea of the scholarships, and we've got art-related workshops. That's good stuff. Gallery exhibits was huge. Let's see. Connecting with others. Not that big on free advertising or free workshops. I'm surprised. Okay. Let's see. And it could be that maybe we weren't getting all the answers captured, but that's okay. How did everybody like the polling? Yeah, good. Okay. Okay, good stuff. Good. All right, good. Holly, how about some final remarks here? Because I think we actually did really good, team. Good job. We stayed within time. Yay! Go ahead,
Yes.
Holly.
Yes, when I said we have a fantastic board, I think you know now what I was talking about. This has been such a busy year for us. We have done so much. Our former president, Kim Foley, really got us rolling with social media, and we have just continued to gain momentum in that area. I think it's super, super important for us to be connected in the world using the social media, and most of all connected to each other. We have improved our website, and you all know that we did make the social justice statement. We felt completely compelled to do this, and as we were discussing and hammering out the statement and making sure it was exactly what we wanted to say, we said, you know what? I think it's really important for us to put our money where our mouth is. And we, for years, have wanted to do and to have a scholarship, to award a scholarship. And so this year we finally made the big decision to do that. I just think that that is huge and it's wonderful. So we hope to be doing that more in the future to continue that. We do need a secretary. It is a board position, and that person would be working to maintain our archives, which is very important for our organization. So that's another way that people can be involved. As people have said before, we need a newsletter editor. It's a vital communications tool. So very, very important job for someone to do. It does not take a huge amount of time, but it is a commitment. I'm not going to lie. However, it's very enjoyable in a way to really be like connected in this organization. I think whoever does this will love it and find it very rewarding. And the pleas have already gone out for membership and program help. So we want to get staffed up. And I think it's very important. I think you all have really gotten this idea already, but this is an effervescent organization. We are not a top-down organization. The ideas bubble up from the members, and you are the ones who make this happen. And the reason for this is so important. This organization got rolling because women needed, we've always created art. We've always created art. We are creative people by nature, but we are not getting the recognition we should have for this. If you look at most museum collections, art by women is less than 5%. And that is our driving force. And that is what we are trying to change. And that is why everyone is saying, please step forward and help us move this cause forward. So that's mainly what I wanted to say, everybody.
And I'm going to put in one more plug for membership. One of the things that's really critical, I know most of us are visual art practitioners ourselves. We paint, we create, we sculpt, what have you. But if you know someone who's a writer, if you know someone who has an art or just a history background, Maybe you know someone who's a photographer who may not have thought an organization like ours would be inclusive for them. Maybe you have someone that's like Kim who's in video production and may not necessarily consider themselves an artist. But these are all folks who can help make our organization better, give us more opportunity to appear and show up stronger. And if we're looking for someone to help archive what we're doing, we're looking for people who have that kind of a background. That's not me. It might not be Deb. It may not be Holly. So we would want somebody who has that kind of expertise to be involved in our organization. So if you know women like that, those folks that maybe you went to school with, or you know somebody that's connected through church or some other social activity, those are the members that we're looking for. Yes, we want visual artists. We want those ladies who are art practitioners, but we also want other women who have other professional backgrounds and educational backgrounds, because again, that's going to make our organization even stronger. So that's my plug for membership.
The thing about an effervescent organization is that when you bring your ideas up and implement them, you are the one who gets to sparkle, and it helps you too. So.
Other board members, does anybody have any final words?
No, just thank you for everybody for coming. I think this is good, and I think everybody has been very patient. So, and it's been a great program. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, I just wanted to say as well, yeah, I'm really excited about this all the stuff we have planned. And again, we really could use your help. Again, even, an hour a week or less, just to write an article or do some posts or, give some input on the scholarship. We do really need more people in the scholarship committee. We're planning doing the application process, and we will need jurors for the actual selection of the award. So, and I'm not sure if we mentioned this. I think it was in the post for the scholarship, but as we said, the $20 for the entry fee goes towards the scholarship, and we are matching from our budget up to $1,000 for the scholarship. So if we get at least $1,000 in call fees, then we will pull 1,000 from our budget and towards the scholarship, and hopefully we'll get more than that. But and this is just the first of hopefully many scholarships that we'll be offering. So again, we love when people want to help, and I'm excited. And if you have ideas about the website or any of the committees, please, you can email us. You can get us on social media. However you want to contact us, we're here.
All right. And our members, is anybody want to share a thought or two about why they're a member? Don't be shy.
Everyone's so shy. I was just gonna say.
So I'm gonna pick on somebody. My magazine photo article person, Cynthia Farrell Johnson, who has come back to us as a former member. Would you like to share a couple of words about why you decided to come back?
Well, I saw that there was a lot of vibrancy, a lot of activity, and that there was a plan to do some serious community outreach. And I had a wee bit of experience working with other or being involved with other organizations that had scholarship programs. And so I figured maybe I could contribute in that way. And it's important I feel, to not just be exhibiting, but to also be looking at the community and trying to figure out how to be supportive of the young people coming up.
That is actually, Cynthia, thank you for saying that. Because I did want to mention that it is really a dream that we have to nurture talent, to help to nurture young talent. So thank you. I wanted to say that.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I really, really appreciate that you stepped forward to work upon that, Cynthia.
How about any of our newer members? Would anybody like to say a couple words? No, not now. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I'll say something. It's Danielle Glosser. I didn't know until Kim told me that you all accept people that are not artists, just professionals in the art world. So I just want to plug again, if people know others, be sure to reach out and let them know that the organization is inclusive in that way.
Right. And the idea is that they support whoever it is supports women artists, supports the mission. So they don't have to be an artist, but technically we could even have men that support women artists.
With my husband.
We used to call the husbands the men's auxiliary that were helping with everything. So we could still have a men's auxiliary too.
Logistics. Definitely logistics. All right. Well, I want to thank everybody who took the time to come out this afternoon for this. And, nobody had to get in their car. Nobody had to, fight the Beltway. And this really, really makes my heart full. As many participants as that we had, and the way the membership is really, really growing. And I just want to thank you to the board who helped put this together this afternoon. And I want to thank everybody who's had the opportunity to attend, and look for some fantastic things happening down the road. Pay attention to the websites, because that's where a lot of the information is being posted. So if you're not getting the emails and you're not getting the information passed down to you, please let us know, because it's imperative that you're getting the information. So I want to close again with a big, huge thank you, and thank you to the board and my teammates for getting this done today. And everybody have a good afternoon.
Yes.
Again.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Yeah.